Hello, and welcome to episode number 141 of Wrestle Erotica, the podcast that combines wrestling with erotica. This week we have two stories to share with you. The first story is entitled, Let's Go to the Movies. John Cena and CM Punk are excited to be on a date together. Unfortunately, CM Punk couldn't help himself and drank too much Pepsi. During the movie, he accidentally pees his pants, which turns John Cena on in a brand new way. The second story is entitled, What Happens in Miami. Since coming to SmackDown to act as the GM, Paige has grown increasingly closer to Lana. One evening after a taping for Total Divas, the two get drinks at a bar. Eventually their feelings can't be contained, and they both decide to start a new chapter in their lives. Without further ado, let's get to this week's stories. This story is entitled, Let's Go to the Movies, and it was written by Vivian Darkbloom. CM Punk sighed and glanced at the clock on his iPhone. It's 6:30 and the movie that he and John Cena were about to see was going to start at 7. Punk decided to drag John out to see the latest installment in the Batman franchise. Punk was a lot more excited about the movie than John was. However, and Punk was actually slightly nervous that John wouldn't show up, or that he wouldn't like the movie. Punk breathed a sigh of relief as he saw John walking towards him, his signature smirk on his face, and actually looking quite dapper, not at all how he dresses for WWE. Punk immediately started to get turned on just by looking at him. John pulled him into a hug as he walked up to him. "Hey, Punk! You look great!" John smiled his big smile as he observed Punk's Cro-Mags t-shirt and blue jeans, making Punk blush bright red. "Shut up, John!" "You look great too, though," Punk managed. Punk and John got their drinks and popcorn and settled into their seats in the back of the theater. Punk had been drinking a lot of Pepsi that day, and he got another large Pepsi just now for the movie.
Fuller!
CM Punk.
Go easy on the Pepsi.
If you drink all that, you'll have to be in the middle of the movie. Remember, this is a long movie, and I know you don't want to take a bathroom break in the middle, John teased. "I'll be fine, John," Punk replied, gulping down his Pepsi at a rapid pace. The movie starts and Punk has already finished 3/4 of his orange Pepsi. He already starts to feel how full his bladder is, and that he will have to pee soon. But he doesn't want to prove John right, so Punk tries to just ignore it and concentrate on the movie. Punk continues drinking his Pepsi though, until it's all gone. John sneaks his hand over to Punk's thighs and starts to caress his leg, turning Punk on. Punk's bladder feels like it's about to burst, and the movie is only halfway over at this point. Punk isn't sure how long he can keep holding his pee, but is still too stubborn to let John win. Punk can barely concentrate on the movie now. The feeling of being so full of pee and the feeling of John touching him at the same time is almost too much to bear. Punk starts to feel a little trickle of warmth start to escape his dick. And before he can stop it, Punk floods his jeans right there, pissing all over himself and the seat. John started to feel Punk's thigh getting wet and glanced at his lap, his eyes going wide at what he could just barely see there in the dark. He could tell that Punk's lap was all wet, and now John's own hand was soaked in Punk's pee too. Punk pissed so much that it ended up going on the floor too. Punk's face immediately turned bright red. If only John could have seen the color change in his face. Punk was immediately mortified and was ready to run out of the theater and all the way home. However, John still had his hand on Punk's thigh. John turned Punk's face towards him and captured his lips in a deep kiss, groping his mouth with his tongue. Punk allowed John's tongue inside his mouth and felt himself starting to get hard right there in his piss-soaked jeans in the back of the theater. John started whispering into Punk's ears. "That's so unbelievably hot, Punk. Let's get out of here and get back to our hotel. I want to peel those piss-soaked jeans I'll review you with my teeth. Ew! John Huss. Punk shuddered and wordlessly grabbed John's hand, getting up and practically running out of the theater. Punk's jeans were absolutely soaked through, all the way down, and when John could see it in the light as they were running back to Punk's car, he started to get hard in anticipation. They arrived at the hotel with only a few looks from people as they ran past, but Punk didn't care who saw that he had wet himself at that point. All he wanted was John to fuck him now. Oh yeah! They finally got into the room, and John immediately started throwing his own clothes off, but told Punk to wait. I told you! I'm taking those fucking jeans off with my teeth, boy!
Boy, look at me!
John growled at Punk. Oh, okay, Daddy. Punk said, leaving his pants on and standing in front of John. John pulled Punk into another kiss first, while accompanying Punk's soaked erection through his jeans and stroking. Punk moaned deeply, never thinking he would be into something as kinky as this. John dropped to his knees and replaced his hand on Punk's cock with his mouth instead, sucking on the head through the fabric, tasting Punk's pee as he sucked. Ew! John loved how Punk tasted. It was dirty, but delicious. Punk continued moaning while John stayed true to his word and undid Punk's jeans and pulled them down using only his mouth. John dragged the pissy jeans down with his teeth, finally pulling them off of Punk, leaving him completely nude. Punk hasn't worn boxers or anything. What a slut you are, pretty pissy boy. Are you my piss boy, Punk? Oh yeah! Are you gonna drink my piss? I know you want to swallow my hot pee, you dirty boy. John spanked Punk's bare ass, getting a squeal out of Punk. I asked you a question, boy. Yes, Daddy. Yes, please. Let me drink your pee. Punk cried, his cock already so hard. He never tasted pee before, not even his own, but he wanted to drink his Daddy John's piss so badly, he wasn't even sure why. That's what I like to hear, baby boy. Get down on your knees and open the whore mouth for me, John rasped. And Punk quickly obeyed, opening his mouth as wide as he could, right under John's cock. John grabbed a fistful of Punk's hair and started to pee right into his open mouth. Punk tried to swallow as much as he could, but his mouth was filled up with so much of John's golden nectar that it started running out of his mouth and down his chest, down to his own dick. Punk realized he loved being John's piss slut. All he ever wanted was to be covered in pee, and he never even knew it. Punk swallowed all that he could, and as soon as John was out of piss, he shoved his dick into Punk's mouth and started face-fucking him as hard as he could. Punk drooled around John's cock, the saliva mixed with pee dribbling out of his mouth and down his body. Punk started jerking his own cock in time with John's thrust into his mouth, and John could feel himself getting closer to climax. John pulled out of Punk's mouth and started jerking himself quickly right in front of Punk's face, Punk's tongue darting out to lick the tip. John exploded all over Punk's face, his cum covering Punk's lips, nose, cheeks, and chin, and dripping down his face. John pulled Punk into a hard kiss as John took over Punk's stroking on his cock. John licked his own cum off of Punk's lips, and then moved down his body to his cock, swiftly taking it deep into his throat. Punk couldn't last much longer, and with a few more of John's deep sucks, Punk came inside of John's mouth, his essence sliding down John's throat. Punk and John collapsed in each other's arms on the floor while they caught their breath. Holy shit, John! I never thought I'd be into that. Punk managed after a few minutes. Did you like it? I definitely did. Water sports has actually been one of my kinks for a while.
I said give me a hell yeah!
I never found anyone to do it with before though. And then as soon as I felt you wet yourself, that was it. I had to have you right then. It was the hottest thing I've ever done. I hope you want to do it again sometime. John smiled at Punk, pecking his lips with a small kiss. Of course. Hell yes, I want to do this again. I still need to feel your cock in my ass after all. Maybe you can even pee in my asshole, Daddy. Punk smiled, a lecherous smile, and laughed. John pulled Punk close and smoothed his hand along Punk's sweaty hair. Anytime, baby boy. The end. This story is entitled What Happens in Miami and was written by Omega Twilight. I still can't believe we actually won that dance battle. That was amazing. Paige, babe, we won because we're the best and because the others sucked. Ha! I'll drink to that. Sitting in a club in Miami at 11:30 p.m. on Thursday the 31st of May, 2018 is WWE stars Lana and the SmackDown General Manager Paige, who around about 30 minutes ago finished off filming for the upcoming season of Total Divas and elected to stay behind together in the club and continue drinking whilst the others went back to the hotel in the limousine, knowing they'd have to make their own way back. The two have some of their drinks, a vodka and Coke for Paige, and a glass of red wine for Lana before continuing to talk. Plus, we look fucking amazing. I mean, Lana, babe, you always look fucking gorgeous, but goddamn, you look absolutely fucking perfect tonight. Oh, thank you, Paige. I appreciate that, but you're far more gorgeous than I am. I mean, look at you. Seriously, you could have absolutely anyone you wanted right now.
Oh, yeah!
Well, you could at any point, but now in particular. Oh, stop it, Lana. You're making me blush. I hope that I do. You're adorable when you blush. Paige smiles and hugs her friend, who happily hugs her back. Paige and Lana had grown close recently, especially with Paige being Lana's general manager on SmackDown, and the two generally finding they have a lot in common. They had become fast friends, and the trip to Miami to film for Total Divas had helped them grow even closer. I'm really glad you're my friend, Lana. I've really needed a positive influence like you in my life lately, especially what with the whole having to retire from wrestling thing, and having to do my best to try and get used to being general manager on SmackDown. Oh, Paige, I'm honestly thrilled. I have someone in my life who gets me, you know? Like, sure, I'm friends with the other women, but none of them really understand and get me like you do. You're the best friend a woman could ask for, so of course I'm going to be a good influence on someone I care about a lot. Oh, you mean that? Of course I do. You're the fucking best, Lana. Paige hugged Lana even more. Lana smiling at her best friend and holding her even closer. She finished off her wine as did Paige her vodka and Coke. The two friends, the last two people in the club, sit there happily for a while, enjoying the nice warm hug, with Lana running her hand through Paige's hair, gently before the bartender walks over to their table. I'm sorry to have to say this, but we're closing in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Oh, what time is it? It's 11:55 p.m., Miss Lana. Oh my, I could have sworn it was earlier. We must have lost track of time hugging, Lana, babe. Lana smiles and laughs, as does Paige, the two separating their hug finally. Paige then looks at the bartender and says, well, could you possibly tell us the number of any local taxi firm that'll take us back to our hotel? We have absolutely no idea about any of that sort of stuff, and we can't exactly walk back there looking like this, can we? Of course I can. If you'd like, I can go over to the bar and order one for you, if you tell me where you're staying. Oh, thank you! Lana, babe, do you have the hotel name in your bag? I do. Hang on just a second. Lana opens her bag and hands the bartender a card with their hotel name on it. The bartender looks at it, nods, and walks over to the bar and makes a call. Whilst he does, Paige and Lana check their bags to make sure they have everything, then stand up and walk together over to the bar. As they do, the bartender finishes his call, and seeing them at the bar, he says, your taxi should be here in 5 minutes. If you don't want to wait outside, you can wait by the door. I'll just take my time closing things down tonight. Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you, isn't it, Paige? Yeah, thanks. No problem, ladies. Have a good night now. We will. Yeah, definitely. Paige and Lana, both smiling and linking arms, walk over to the door of the club and stand there waiting for their taxi, looking out of the door as they wait. Maybe in the future, we should go back with them. And ruin the fun of getting to stay out and drink and hang with one another for a while longer. You're right, Lana, babe. I have no idea what I was thinking. Lana smiles as their taxi finally arrives. The taxi driver opens the window of the seat next to him and says, Lana and Paige? Yup! I'm Paige, and this is Lana. You here to take us to our hotel? I am indeed. Ken the bartender called. Hop in the back and I'll take you there. The two friends nod and get in the back and put on their seatbelts whilst the taxi driver closes his window. Lana and Paige put their bags next to themselves and close their doors and lock them. Then the taxi driver says, "Okay, this should take about 10 to 15 minutes. There's still some traffic on the roads at this time of night." Not surprising. People work late after all. Paige has a point. They do. You are? Heh, this is the start of my shift. You're my first customers for the night. I'm working until 6 a.m. Damn. Yup. Anyways, let's get going. The quicker I get you back to your hotel, the quicker you two can relax and get some sleep. The taxi driver reversed out of the spot he was in and continued to drive down the roads of Miami. Paige and Lana holding one another's hands and smiling at one another in the back of the taxi. Have I ever told you just how gorgeous I think you are, Lana? Once or twice, maybe, but I never tire of hearing it. Paige smirked and laughed, as did Lana, before Paige suddenly planted a kiss on Lana, who kissed Paige back with a passion. The two kissed for a short period of time before separating. Paige said, "Sorry, I've always wanted to do that. I just find you so goddamn attractive, Lana, babe. It's hard to control myself around you." "Oh, Paige, you should have told me sooner if you wanted to kiss me. You could have. I find you very, very attractive as well, you know." "Really? You think I'm attractive?" "Oh, yes. I've always preferred women. And of all the women I've met, you are the most beautiful of them all." "Oh." Paige blushes and looks down hearing Lana's compliment. Lana smiles and gently holds her face up and makes out passionately and lovingly with her, with Paige kissing her back with an equal amount of love and passion. Lana holding her friend Paige close to her. The two gaze into one another's eyes, losing themselves in them, eventually separating their kiss. Both women needing air. "Wow! Lana, babe! I don't know what to say! I've never thought about you actually liking me. I do! I love you, Paige. You're the most beautiful, perfect woman I know. If I could be with you, hell, I'd break up with and dump my husband in an instant if you wanted me to." Really? You'd do that for me?" Before Lana can answer, the car comes to a stop. And both Paige and Lana realize that they're at the hotel they're staying at. The taxi driver then says, "We're here, ladies. Told you it wouldn't take too long. That'll be $10, please." "Oh, that's cheap. I thought it'd be more this late at night." Lana says that she opens her bag and looks for her money. You'd think so, but our late night fees don't actually start until 1 a.m. onwards. Makes sense. Lana says that she hands the driver his money. He smiles and says, "I hope you both have a good evening." "We will!" "Thanks." "Yeah, thanks." Paige and Lana grab their bags and get out of the taxi, close their doors, and watch as the taxi driver drives off before Paige says, "Well, would you?" "Yes, I would." "Why? Do you want me to be with you?" "Because I will, Paige. I love you." I love you too, Lana. I have for a long time, and I never thought you'd feel the same way about me, and that we'd just be really close friends." "Oh, Paige. Hey, I'm all yours now. I'll dump my husband tomorrow. Come on, let's go inside and go to your room and celebrate us being a couple now." Paige wrapped her arms around Lana and smooched her. Lana smooching Paige back. The young British woman was thrilled that Lana was her lover now, her girlfriend. She had wanted this for ages and couldn't believe it was actually happening. "Yeah, let's celebrate, babe," Paige says in a cheerful voice with a huge smile on her face. As the two separate their smooching and hug and walk into the hotel, hand in hand holding their bags, and walk right over to the elevator, pressing the button for it to open. It does, and the two walk in. It closes and Paige presses the button for the 5th floor. It begins to move, and as it does, Paige hugs Lana. Lana smiling and hugging her gorgeous British lover close to her. "I really can't believe we're a couple now, Lana. I'm so happy. You know, after all the shit I've been through, I fucking deserve to be happy. Don't you think?"
Yes! Yes! Yes!
"Oh, I totally agree, babe. And I promise you, I'm going to make you the happiest woman alive." I'm going to make each and every single day of your life a happy one. Oh, Lana, babe, just being with you and being able to wake up next to you will make me happy. The two smile at one another and kiss again, this time very briefly, as the elevator comes to a stop. Picking up their bags and linking arms, they walk out of it as soon as the doors open and walk down the hallway in front of them to Paige's hotel room's door, which she opens after getting the key to it out of her bag. The two walk in with Paige locking the door, and turning around to see Lana had already stripped out of the few bits of clothing she was wearing and was standing by the bed completely naked. She showed off her body by slowly twirling around, giving her lover a good look at her tits, her pussy, and her ass. Paige licking her lips watching it all, saying, as Lana stopped twirling around, "Oh, wow! Wow! You look so fucking perfect! Just like you do in my dreams." "Oh, you dream of me naked?" "Of course I do." "Now I guess it's my turn." Paige did the same thing as Lana, stripping nude and then showing off her tits, pussy, and ass by twirling around. Lana walked right over to her to watch, licking her lips and eyeing her lover up and down, obviously turned on by the gorgeous Brit. Fuck! You are absolutely perfect, Paige. Just like I thought. Thank you for the compliment, babe. But I still think you're more gorgeous than I am. How about we both agree that we're both the most gorgeous woman there is?
The cream of the crop!
Okay, I'm good with that. Lana smirks, as does Paige, who then pushes Lana against a wall and starts to make out with her, holding her hands apart from one another on the wall. Lana, getting hugely turned on by the Brit taking control, returns the kiss with the same passion. With both her and Paige very much enjoying the moment, Paige never in her wildest dreams thought that this would be how her day would have gone today. That she'd wind up back in her hotel room with a nude Lana in front of her, and that Lana would be her lover. But it was all reality, and she was so happy and horny as well. Lana herself was also very happy that her gorgeous female British friend was now her lover. Oh my, Paige. As much as I love our kisses, don't you want to celebrate on the bed? I do. I was just wanted to do that first. Both women smirked as Paige let go of Lana, who crawled seductively on the bed on all fours, swaying her ass from side to side with Paige licking her lips, watching before Lana laid on her back and beckoned for her lover to join her. Paige getting on without hesitation, she instantly straddled Lana and began to grind their pussies together, the two of them gasping and moaning at how pleasurable it was. Paige also grabbed, squeezed, and began playing with Lana's big, fake tits, causing Lana even more pleasure and causing her to moan even more. Gazing lustfully at her British lover, who gazed the same way back at her, as they fucked one another for the first time in their lives. Oh, God! Fuck! Lana! This feels so fucking good! Oh, God! I'm glad there's a few force separating us and the other women! Fuck! Fuck! I agree! This is really fucking... God! It's a good thing neither of the others can hear us. Oh, fuck. They probably would be wondering what the hell is going on. Both Paige and Lana were getting hornier and wetter with every passing second as they continued grinding their pussies together, and as Paige continued to grope, squeeze, and play with Lana's big fake tits. Lana could tell that Paige was getting a lot of enjoyment out of her big fake tits, and couldn't help but get turned on by that fact as well, as Paige continued taking control of her. The big fake, tittied, bubbly platinum blonde couldn't help but love the thought of her hot new British lover taking control of her in the bedroom, causing her to arch her back, pushing her tits into Paige's hands more as she moaned even more. Oh, God! Fuck! Oh, Paige! Is this as good as your dreams? I mean, you've dreamt of me naked. I'm sure you've dreamt of me. Fucking me at some point. Fuck. Of course I have. And it's so good. Oh, fuck. God, I feel so fucking alive right now. Oh, God, fuck. I've never felt this good before, Lana. Oh, fuck. I don't know what you're doing to me. Good fucking Lord. But I'm loving it. Lana could tell that Paige was really enjoying having sex with her, and Lana was also enjoying it. It was the best sex she had ever had in her life. Woo! Paige brought out Lana's wild side in the bedroom, like nobody ever had before. Even more so when while still grinding their pussies together and feeling them both growing even wetter. Paige started sucking on Lana's big, fake tits, going back and forth on them, causing them both, especially Lana, even more immense pleasure. Lana herself moaning and groaning and gasping as Paige sucked her big fake tits, enjoying it more than anyone could imagine. Lana! Fuck! Your big fake tits! They taste, so good. Oh, I'm, gonna love sucking on these. Oh, Paige! Suck my big tits. As much as you want, babe. My body and I are, all yours after all. Paige happily continued going to town on Lana's big fake tits, while still grinding their soaking wet pussies together. The two of them were at such a point that the pleasure they were getting from one another was so intense they were both finding themselves beginning to get close to the edge of climaxing. Paige was extremely happy and extremely horny. Lana was as well, though Lana was hornier than Paige at this point, deriving pleasure from more than just the sexual pleasure she was getting, still turned on by Paige taking control of her in the bedroom. Oh, Paige! Oh, God! Fuck! Oh, God, yes, Paige! Keep sucking on my tits and grinding with me! Oh, God, fuck! This is the best I've ever felt! Ever! Was all Paige could say in response, as she was too engrossed at this point with hungrily sucking on Lana's big fake tits. Lana began bucking her hips wildly as the truly immense pleasure they were both getting was beginning to get really intense and was bringing them both exceedingly close to the edge. So close that one final bit of grinding, their soaking wet pussies together, finally caused them both to crash violently over the edge, climaxing at the same time, as well as both loudly moaning at the same time. Before Lana rested on the bed with Paige, nuzzling her affectionately on Lana's big tits, she ran a hand through her hair as they both caught their breath. God, that was... Well, words can't really describe just how fucking perfect that was. God, Lana, I love you so fucking much. I'm so happy you're mine now. I'm so happy I get to wake up next to you every morning. And I'm so happy we get to do what we just did every single day. Paige, I feel the same way. Truly I do. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. It will truly be utter perfection. Aww. Paige smiled and gently kissed Lana on the lips. Lana herself smiling as Paige kisses her, with Paige then saying, "Yeah, it will. I can't wait to let everyone else know. Well, when the time is right anyway. True, we have to handle this properly. Well, either way. I've got you in my life now, so I know that no matter what, whether people accept us or not, I don't care about their opinions. All I care about is you, Lana. And all I care about is you, my lovely Paige." The two star-crossed lovers, smiling at one another, made out for a while longer before finally falling asleep, safe and happy in one another's arms. For the two of them, their lives had changed forever. In the days, weeks, and months that followed, Lana did indeed dump and divorce her husband, shocking the wrestling world, and then shocking them again when both her and Paige announced they were dating, though everyone accepted them happily, much to both of their relief. For Lana, this was the start of an entirely new chapter of her life, having finally given in to her innermost desires of being with a woman. Having always preferred women, but never having truly tried to find one to be with until her and Paige had finally gotten together. Her life was perfect, and it was all thanks to Paige. As for Paige, she was finally, utterly, truly happy. She was the happiest she had ever been, and it was all thanks to the woman of her dreams, Lana, who kept her promise of making every single day of Paige's life a happy one. Paige would never be sad again, and approached every task in her life with the confidence of knowing she could do it, because she had the love and support of Lana. And in the end, that was all she had ever truly needed. The end. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. As always, if you enjoyed this week's stories, please be sure to like, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Visit us elsewhere online, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and as always, our official website, WrestleEroticAPod.com. Thank you and have a good week.